Your employees are your brand's secret weapon.
Thanks, RB. Thanks, everyone. So today's topic is how boosting engagement and brand trust with an employee advocacy program. Just a quick background on Crimson Berry. We are a full-service digital marketing agency since 2017. And these are our services that we render to our clients. We can help you with your corporate communications, your employer branding and online recruitment, brand development, inbound marketing, and leads generation. But our focus for today is more on employee advocacy, which is part of employer branding. So let me show you or introduce to you our clients for employer branding and online recruitment. So as mentioned earlier, we've been servicing Meralco Careers. This is the HR accounts, essentially, of Meralco. So that's Facebook, Instagram, and some LinkedIn, and hopefully TikTok in the future. We also do EPLDT. Halo-halo ito. There's corporate, there's consumer content, but there's also employer branding content here. For Majestic Press and Majestic Packaging, same. It's a mix of all three content pillars. But with CDC Manufacturing, this is all careers, and the same as Red Maple Group, it's all employer branding and online recruitment. So just to warm things up a bit, are you guys familiar with employee advocacy programs? Please hit it in the chat. If your answer is A, yes, I want our company to have one. You already know what employee advocacy programs are. Or B, yes, you do know what it is and your company has one, but you want to make it better. Or C, you don't know what it is, but I'm glad you're here because you want to know what it is. So I'm seeing your answers. Thank you so much. More A, B, it's a mix. It's a good mix. I love it. So thank you guys. So strap on. Ito na tayo. So what you will learn today, as you've seen in our invites, we'll start off with the power of employee advocacy. So how employee voices can extend your brand's influence and build trust. Next, we'll go into how to build an advocacy program with the key steps. Then we'll go into boosting engagement and retention. So you now have a program. How do you get people engaged, right? And then lastly, I'll share tools and the best practices on building this employee advocacy program. And stick around to the end because there's a special reveal just before our Q&A. So what is employee advocacy really? Because I've had a conversation with some HR friends and they think that employee advocacy is something else than what I want to talk about. So they think it's HR advocating for employees, but it's not. It's really employees advocating for your company. So yeah, it is important for you guys, for you HR professionals, to fight for your employees' needs. It is important. But what employee advocacy is it's when your employees become the authentic voice behind the brand. When they are the ones posting on social media about the company, about their work life, about the brands that where they're employed, right? So think of it as turning your employees into ambassadors who extend your reach and build credibility naturally and authentically. Yan. So employee advocacy humanizes your brand, making it more relatable, trustworthy to potential job applicants and to customers. So think about your own personal experience when you were looking for a job or you're researching on the companies that you want to work for. Don't you search on social media. If you think about it, social search is something that's going on now. People look at social media first. They search on Facebook or Instagram first about brands, about companies, about potential employers, before they even do Google. So having content on social media about your brand is important. So I hear this also from friends. It's like, isn't that just employee generated content? You know, we used to say um, user generated content, UGC. Right? You see that with a lot of brand ambassadors out there. But this is more employee generated content. But what's the difference between having an employee advocacy program and getting people to do EGC? As you see here, employee advocacy is the structure, it's the purpose, while EGC are the content or the raw materials that feed it. But let me give you more definitions. Employee advocacy is a structured initiative where employees share curated or personal content to promote your company or brand. Meanwhile, EGC is content created organically by employees, often without formal guidance. So people just post, they share their photos, they share their videos. So employee advocacy boosts trust and reach engagement through employee voices. EGC showcases authentic employee experiences, often for culture or recruitment. Structure-wise, it's organized. There's tools, there's guidelines, there's social media policies provided by you guys and your IT team. While EGC is very informal, spontaneous, and employee-driven. But hopefully with the employee advocacy program, we can give them nice velvet ropes to play in, diba? For safe brands. Content source can be a mix provided by the company for employee advocacy. It's either pre-made or you tell people to repost and share existing content from the brand social media accounts. But with EGC, it's on their accounts. It's on their Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and they just tag the brand, right? So example of employee advocacy program is an employee shares a company milestone with a branded hashtag on LinkedIn. Meanwhile, on EGC, an employee posts a candid team lunch photo on Instagram. So hopefully you're kind of getting the difference na, diba? So definition natin, metrics natin dito, track via KPI like reach, engagement, or leads. With EGC, it's less structured. Defining success might be just, it's good vibes. You're sharing good vibes on your socials. Again, employee advocacy is the strategy. It aligns employees with your brand goals, while EGC is the key ingredient. It captures your employees' unfiltered voice. So, diving into our first section, the power of employee advocacy. So, why does employee advocacy matter? O, di ba? Sample si mismo RB, di ba? So, your employees are your brand's secret weapon. Dare I say, even your executives are your brand's secret weapon, di ba? Lead from the top. Be an example then, di ba? So, studies show that content shared by employees gets 8 times more engagement than content shared through brand channels. It's the personal brand versus the corporate brand. Think about the people you follow on your own social media. Do you follow more brands or do you follow more people? Or let's take the Western example. Do you follow Tesla or do you follow Elon Musk? Or do you follow Amazon or do you follow Jeff Bezos? Virgin versus Richard Branson. Ganon, di ba? So, you're more likely to follow a person than you are a brand. So, but they all work together, right? Personal brands, EGC, employer advocacy, and corporate brands. So, people trust people, not logos. Employee posts are seen as authentic, relatable, and human. This trust extends your brand's influence, reaching networks your corporate accounts on social can't even reach. So some stats for you guys that need numbers to show to your management hierarchy. This is an article I found on LinkedIn, sources below. So when you get this deck, you'll be able to go to the main article. But it says here, for employee advocacy stats to know, 1, it improves brand reputation. 72% of enterprise companies work with internal executives to grow thought leadership, with 90% of those focused on building credibility and social influence. In terms of recruitment, 75% of job seekers consider an employer's brand before even applying for a job. Diba? Search mo na yan. Amplifying reach, 15% of buyers consult vendor-driven marketing materials. Diba? You again, it's social search pa rin, looking at brands before you even buy. Lock-in lead conversion for B2B sales. If there are people here who are not HR but are marketers, 91% of every B2B sale is influenced in some way by word of mouth, diba? And some more details featuring just LinkedIn. I'm mostly going to be showing examples on LinkedIn here, mainly because it's very easy to track employee advocacy content on LinkedIn. There are ways to track it on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, which I will share later. But it's easier kasi to get examples from LinkedIn. Yan. So, question again, guys. Now that you know what employee advocacy is and isn't, do you know of any of your employees if they are posting on social media about their work? Medyo parang napaisip na ba kayo? So, yes or no lang sa chat or give me a thumbs up as a reaction na parang, oh nga no, I remember this employee is already posting or minsan kasi di ba hindi fina-follow ang mga employees or they don't really add as a friend your friendly HR person. Di ba? I actually have a personal rule that I do not ask for connection requests to my own team. I let them be the one to request connections with me. Kasi it might sound like a bit, parang di ba, yung parang stalkish. Parang like, mauna sila mag-invite sa akin, di ba? Which is why on LinkedIn, I've transformed my profile into like a page. And even for Facebook, it's a professional page already. So they can follow me, kinda not like a friend. Pero kung gusto nilang friend, yay, di ba? So think about it na, di ba? So yes, naiisip nyo na yung mga taong nagpo-post sa social media. You can easily, kung may hashtag yung company ninyo, search for your company on social media or just search for your company talaga, like the whole string and see what comes out. And it's like, oh, people are posting pala about the company or an event or something. As HR professionals, actually, medyo minsan-minsan dapat pinapansin nyo yan because you don't know if they are posting positive or disparaging content. So, baka may mga kailangan ng i-principal's office dyan. I-flag yun na, di ba? Okay. Moving on. Now that you know what an employee advocacy program is, now you want to build one. So here are key steps. I'm just gonna brush over it or give you broad strokes. And then we can dive into it more detail some other time. So, step 1, identify those advocates. So, kanina, siguro may naiisip na kayo, oh nga no, these people post a lot about their work, about the brand. So, find your champions. Look for employees who are already active on social media. They are the ones who are followed. They are the ones who they post regularly. And they post naturally. And if they're Gen Z, they're probably doing it on video with a lot of editing. So, maganda, natural storytellers sila. Make it a cross-functional group. Meaning, get someone from sales, get someone from marketing, someone for operations, finance. Something that would show your company, all the facets of your company, diba? Of your organization. And don't limit it to extroverts or leverage on the power of quiet people. Introverts also have strong networks. Kung hindi halata, introvert po ako. Yon. So pro tip, use internal surveys or LinkedIn analytics to spot potential advocates. That's why I'm saying like most of my examples will be on LinkedIn because it's really easy to track. Pro max tip. Get your employees to update their LinkedIn profiles with your company as employer. So if you notice here in the examples, this way, this way, this way, na in LinkedIn, if you go to the insights and the activities, if a person is an employee, it is tagged as an employee activity. If you notice that, employee activities, it's easy to check, like, okay, our employees are the ones pushing the content, they are sharing, they're commenting, they're liking, they are pushing the message forward. Yan. So create engaging content as well. Step 2, you have the people, now create the content. So employees won't share dull corporate jargon, yung mga may codes or parang kayo-kayo lang nagkakaintindihan. Provide them with content that's easy to post and feels personal. Let them post, project wins, team photos, customer thank yous, like my friend here who talked about training that happened in their organization. So take photos, talk about it, post it, use the corporate or branded hashtags, or even use the generic hashtags for discoverability. So provide templates like proud to work at company, we just achievement, add photo and it's share ready. Especially if, let's say, your company is celebrating a milestone, 25th anniversary, product launch, employee day or something like that, foundation day. Give them standard spiels to share, and if you have a photo wall, give them that photo wall so people can post and share easily on their social media. So make it a two-way street. Encourage employees to contribute ideas or stories. So huwag kayong mapagod mag-isip ng content. Ask them also what their ideas are, or take a look at what they're doing. It's like, oh, that's a good idea. Let's replicate it with the others, diba? So step 3, set measurable goals. So what does success look like for your program? Define your KPIs. Is it reach? Is it impressions? Is it engagement? Are we talking reactions, comments, shares, and saves? Is it leads generated? Or if you're running an referral program for your recruitment, parang refer a friend or something like that, that can be that. It's leads generated. So make it SMART. I think everyone here knows what SMART is for goal setting, diba? So increase brand mentions by 20% in 6 months. That's a goal. Can be also get 50 employees sharing monthly. Pwede yan. And then you can track progress with tools. More about that later on how you can actually track all of these metrics. So I'm seeing questions posted. Thank you so much. We'll get to that later. But yes, just keep, if a question comes to mind, post it already in the Q&A box before you forget it, so that later we will be able to get to them. So, but here's a question right now. Share your thoughts so far. What are the types of content you think your employees would love to share? Sa chat muna tayo, wag muna tayo sa Q&A. Post nyo lang muna sa chat. May naiisip na ba kayo kung ano yung mga yan? Yes, I see it. Company events. Yes. Volunteer work nila, correct? Yeah, that's good, huh? Life after work, bond even after work. Yes, actually, there are some companies that do fun runs together, like after work, magja-jogging sila together, or they organize na pag Saturday, they come together for magbabike sila, magha-hike. That's actually nice. Milestones, CSR, corporate events, yes. Employee recognition. We will touch on that, employee recognition. That's very important. Photos taken during small events with our company monthly. Yes. Correct. Yan. Pub mats that include their faces. Yes, but with their permission, ha. Pag may mga faces, yon. Copy of the tips. May question here. Yes, you will actually get a copy of this deck. Yan. So, tuloy tayo. Section number 3. strategies to boost engagement and retention. How advocacy fosters a culture of involvement and strengthens workforce commitment. So, employee advocacy as a culture driver. Employees gain a stronger sense of ownership and pride, deepening their connection to the company if they're part of employee advocacy programs such as this, diba? When employees actively advocate for your brand, they see a clear link between their contributions and the company's achievements. They know that they're part of it, diba? There's that again, that sense of ownership. An empowered employee voices, sorry. Empowered employee voices drive open communication and foster a culture of collaborative idea sharing. Employee advocacy is a key driver of talent retention. How employees who feel heard and valued are most likely to feel empowered to perform their best. Employees who feel personally invested in your company's success are significantly more likely to remain loyal. So, like this one, guys, we're so proud that we were, ako yan, last year's annual awards. We are happy to have contributed to Meralco Careers getting a gold anvil last year for the best use of social media for online recruitment and employer branding. Yan, so happy. And even they are happy. So, they're happy, we're happy. Yeah. So, employee advocacy programs, they foster involvement. So, advocacy isn't just top-down, it's collaborative. Again, it might start with the executives doing the sharing and the posting and sharing their thoughts because they're naturally more akin to or more inclined to do thought leadership, diba, on LinkedIn. Like they don't just repost, they post and then add their thoughts about the post. But as people see how it's done, gagaya din sila. So, collaborative and ideas coming from bottom up, great, diba? Especially if most of your workforce are Gen Z, that's when you say, okay, this is working. Oh, this is getting more traction, diba? So, host workshops so that you can educate your employees on the benefits of participating in such a program. It can also boost their social media skills because it's a form of upskilling also when you do these workshops. You provide them with guidelines. Again, there should be social media policies in place in your company. Work with your IT for data privacy and some cybersecurity concerns. Frame that, sama-sama nyo na yun sa social media policies ninyo, diba? You can conduct contests, best post of the month, alongside your employee of the month, diba? Get their buy-in. As mentioned kanina, recognize advocates publicly. Shout-outs in meetings or give small rewards like cheesies or even spa day or an extra leave, diba? Pwede yon. Up to you guys, up to you HR, anong pwede sa organization nyo in terms of giving incentives and tokens for participating, diba? And the result is a workforce that is engaged, connected, and committed, diba? Shout out ulit. What are some ways you can recognize your employee advocates? Kanina, diba, mention nyo, employee recognition. Sige, how? Can you please give me some suggestions on how you guys recognize people's participations in your programs? So, as mentioned kanina, GCs, pwedeng nga spa day, or meron ba kayong parang special outing for people? Yun. Giving a badge? Yeah, okay, tama yun, no? Parang from the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts lang yan. Or even sa social media, parang yung profile nila may badge, di ba? Okay yun. Day tour. Oh, I love that. Plus points in appraisal. Yes, kasi participation siya. Sige, I'll let you guys type in while I hydrate. I hope you guys are hydrating as well. It's kind of warm. Newsletter content, incentives, yeah. team member spotlight dedicated every month. Uy, okay yan. These are great. Ayun. So, number 4, strategies to boost engagement and retention. So, how advocacy fosters a culture of involvement and strengthens the workforce commitment. So, there are tools, but these are paid tools. No need to reinvent the wheel. There are paid tools to help you guys manage your employee advocacy programs. But these are kind of expensive. I would tell sa atin na lang, expensive siya, but they work. You don't have to think much about it now. Most of the best practices for employee advocacy programs are already built in these tools. However, there are free options. We love free options. Free options are yung mismong tool. Native insights and analytics tools inside Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, YouTube, TikTok. Nandun yan. Especially if your page is either professional or business mode, there are more insights and analytics available for that. I do hope that your company pages are not personal pages, that they are business and professional pages. If they aren't, please hit us up. We can help you turn those into professional pages. But that's another service. Yeah. So you can also create a weekly email newsletter highlighting the content you want your employees to share. And also, in the same newsletter, highlight already people who are actively sharing the content and recognize the, social media MVP of the month, di ba? Pwede yan. Yan. You can also create a chat group in your chat platform of choice. I think in the Philippines, we're mostly Viber dito. May nagsa-Slack pa ba? I've found that Viber is the free Slack. Wherein you post there the content that you want people to share. Diba? Dun nyo ilabas para alam nila, okay, this is the content that HR or marketing wants us to share or to amplify. So, there. For people who need ideas on what to do, diba? And in case you did not know, LinkedIn has a notify employees feature. So, like here, when I was posting about this webinar, if you hit the 3 dots at the upper right corner, ito, and you hit it, lalabas yan, notify employees. So if let's say 1,000 people have already tagged you as their employer, either actually mas maganda pag during the onboarding, part of the onboarding process or topics is making sure that all the employees or new employees follow you on social media and that they update their LinkedIn profile to post you as the employer. So that when you have these notify employees, there's really a notification on their LinkedIn that new content was posted. Ayan. So best practices for success and your next step, keep it voluntary. Alam naman natin to. Alam ng tao kung pilit, di ba? But keep it voluntary. That's why it's important to find your advocates that are naturally doing employee advocacy content na rin for you guys. So, keep it voluntary, find the natural ones, give them a structure, and then incentivize them for it, di ba? Ayan. So, provide training for your advocates, offer social media guides and tips, use branded hashtags for easy tracking. Next is sustain it, meaning refresh your content monthly, celebrate wins to keep the momentum going, and listen to feedback. So tweak the program based on what your employees love. Iterate it, di ba? 1% better each time. Yon. Are you guys ready to have your own employee advocacy program? Pulse check lang. Okay, we've gone through what it is, how can you start it, and what you can do to sustain it. But if this seems a bit overwhelming for you and you think like, okay, I want it for my company, but I need management buy-in, or I need a structure that can help me do this, I have news for you guys. So eto na yung special reveal. We have an employee advocacy accelerator program wherein our digital marketing team will help you, will partner with you to develop your employee advocacy program from scratch. Or if you have one already, we can help improve it, diba? So we'll provide the training, we'll provide the structure, we'll provide ways for you to monitor it to ensure success. So we have a wait list. We are still finalizing this program, but I want you guys to signify your interest via the wait list. I will give you the link. So the link is here, or scan the QR code, but let me post on the chat also our link para it's easy for you guys. Sign up for the wait list, and when we are ready to launch this, you guys will be the first ones to know. You have first dibs, you are first in line. Kung concert ito, yung nasa pre-selling po kayo. You are in the pre-selling. How much will it cost? We are still finalizing that, but definitely when we have everything in place, you guys will be the first to know. First dibs kayo, diba? So we'll make sure that it's a collective program, or what do I say? You have two choices. This is what we're seeing right now. You can join in a workshop with a lot of people. Say one or two lang kayo sa HR. You can join in our in-person workshop. But if you think this is something that you need for your company as a private workshop for you guys lang, that option is available also for you guys. Again, more details when we launch it. So please hit that URL or save that URL for later. Sign up for our wait list, so that you get to be the first ones to know about this program. Right. So let's bring it all together. Medyo mabilis lang tayo today, but let's bring it all together. So we've gone through the power of employee advocacy. So gets nyo na that, yeah, it's powerful for a brand. Now you know how to build an advocacy program. Very broad strokes. Again, if you will be part of our accelerator program, you will get to know more about how to build that advocacy program. And then we went also through boosting engagement and retention, and I shared with you some tools and best practices. But a couple of tips to take home: employee advocacy is not just a tactic, it's a mindset. It's going to be a cultural mindset for your company. It amplifies your brand, it builds trust, and it strengthens your workforce. It is also a low-cost way of doing marketing and lead generation, if you think about it, diba? So start small, identify 5 advocates. Again, make it cross-functional would be great. Give them one piece of content, and then see how far it goes and measure that ripple effect, diba? So you've got the steps, you can do it. Let's turn your employees into your brand's biggest fans. Ayun. So, Q&A time. RB, super quick lang tayo, but I'm seeing may mga questions kanina na nawala na. Tama ba? But while
yeah, sige. We'll browse through those. But while we're looking at those, meron lang mga phone-in questions also here. Ina, no?
Go.
Start with the first one. Why should companies prioritize employee advocacy in their social media strategy?
One, it's free.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it's free. We have a lot of clients who ask us, like, how do we increase our reach? How do we increase our followers? And when we ask them, do you have the budget to do ads? Do you have the budget to do promoted posts? They're like, not right now. I'm like, okay, then let's use the power of your people. Diba? It's free advertising, good word of mouth. Again, as we saw kanina, it's stronger because it comes from your people themselves. also notice on LinkedIn, right? When you as a person, you're going through your feed, you are seeing content not from pages that you follow or people that you follow, but because your friend or someone in your network commented, shared, or reposted something, you get to see it. So that's the effect of an employer advocacy activity that they did. And that's essentially for free. And it amplifies the voice. It furthers the reach with no cost talaga. So it's sometimes kasi okay, if, like we do, like I mentioned, we do a lot of corporate comms, employer branding, and essentially B2B selling also on social media. But that might too much of that will make it sound a little bit cold because it's too brand, masyadong bentables, di ba? Having employer advocacy content or employers sharing it, again, makes it more human, makes it more real, gives a face to it, or okay, so mukhang, para mas less PR. Yes, so it's not so PR-ish.
Yeah. For me also, kasi, di ba, companies spend for employee engagement, like team buildings, outings and stuff. So I guess this is one way to get your ROI as well. So it's like an incentive for us to think of a great program for our people, because at the end, at the back of our heads, we know that masusulit natin tong budget natin kasi matutuwa yung mga tao dito and they're gonna share it. And then, without even them knowing, unconsciously, they are already helping the organization in our advocacy, right? Social media advocacy. So,
yes, agree.
Yun. So here pa, Ina, another phone in. What are some common challenges companies face when implementing this advocacy program, and how can they overcome them?
Yeah. So there's a risk of it falling flat, that everyone is just too busy to do things, or that idea of, ay, may pinapagawa na naman si boss.
Diba? Parang upos ang dating
Oo, sobrang, again, minsan parang, alam mo yun, baka parang napipilitan lang sila. So really, that's the challenge now to HR and to, make it a collaborative effort in itong program na to. You have your HR people leading it as the main sponsor of this activity or of this program, but you have marketing people who can help you with content, with getting people to join in, diba? That's why it's really important to identify your first 3 or your first 5 advocates, because they will set the tone. They will set the pace na parang, uy, okay to. Uy, parang fun. Ay, bakit siya may pa-GC at the end of the month? May pa-burger. Ako din, di ba? Ganun, minsan, it's as simple as, bakit siya may free Starbucks? Kasi nag-post siya. Nag-viral yung post niya. Game, masubukan nga. Doesn't take more than a minute to repost with your thoughts, di ba? So
maganda nga yung idea mo, Ina, kanina, that parang in a way you're gamifying it rin, 'di ba? So hindi siya parang utos or parang favor naman, paki-post mo naman to about our company, right? Kasi we have to make sure that they are also having fun doing this. Because it's beyond the job description, right? So,
yes.
Yun. So it has to be natural. Tsaka us people seeing everything on social media, know naman if it's, fake or if it's natural, right? Or if it's genuine. So, I think yun lang yung challenges sa atin or for management or for HRs na how do we come up with this, engagement program that they will really enjoy doing?
Sometimes it starts as simple as, kunyari, meron kayong company event, put up a photo wall. Or if you're gonna hire a photo booth vendor, yung magpa-special backdrop kayo for your brand, or meron pa special picketing that you're holding with your hashtags. Sometimes it's as simple as that, because people will naturally post about stuff that's going on in their workplace, di ba?
Yeah.
Ito din, di ba, pulse check din siya. If people are happy in the workplace, if you're talking about employee satisfaction and retention, mapansin mo yan, they will post more, di ba, because of that
Yeah.
they're happy. But if they're starting to post negative things, ayan, bantayan nyo rin, di ba? Social listening din yan, na parang, okay, are they talking about our company? If so, what are they talking about? And how are they talking about us? What's the sentiment? So, if you're the type of HR na madami kayong, you set up a lot of ganap in your office. May every Monday there's something, or kamakailan lang, Women's Day. Or we're still in Women's Month, March. Diba? If you're doing something for Women's Day or Women's Month, post about it, talk about it, have photo walls, or have prompts in your booths, kung may mga activity booths kayo na parang share what you like about this, or post a photo with this hashtag, ganyan-ganyan. Diba? Iyon.
Yeah. May mga comments, Ina, sa
O nga eh.
box. Yeah.
So Denise says, if we offer incentives or monetary rewards to employees who consistently share positive experience about the company, is it still considered employee advocacy given that we are rewarding them for taking a personal initiative? Pretty much still, yes. The fact that you have an incentive program for people who post or do something on social media, that can be already some form of your employee advocacy program. If you formalize it more and you make it replicable, then that's your program. Diba?
Yeah.
Yun.
And actually, that leads us to the next question. No? So what are the key metrics companies should track to measure the success of their employee advocacy efforts? Kasi medyo mahirap rin yan. You can't expect that, oh, my sales will increase this much or I'll get these many likes right away. Diba? I mean, personal pages nga itong mga to. So what are your thoughts on this?
As mentioned in one of our slides kanina, you can measure reach in impressions. So that's free brand awareness for the company. You can also measure engagement, meaning reactions, comments, shares, saves. Especially if, let's say, it's the company's post and the activity, the employee advocacy activity is reposting that, matatrack mo eh. You'll be able to see how much came from the post itself versus it came from outside, beyond the post itself. So doon mo makikita na na-amplify yung reach, nadagdag yung reach. Yon. And mentions then, if you have a social listening tool, kahit na wala nga, kahit mag-search ka lang for your branded hashtag, or for your event hashtag, doon mo makikita how many talked about it, what is the sentiment, and all of that. So yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes if it's on recruitment, you can look at the number of applications and referrals, and then when you interview them, kasi I've also experienced this, no. So whenever we interview people, we ask them, so how did you hear about us? So some would say na post kasi ng isa kong friend na mayroon kayong event na ganito. Okay, also that's good, 'di ba? So several times we experience that, and then some other times naman. I also ask, so what's your impression of our organization? So yun pala, they looked at their friends, yun nga, posts, look at our social media pages, they say, oh, parang marami kayong events. So yun yung mga highlights sa akin. Parang fun, no? Parang hindi kayo busy, parang gano'n. So I mean, it still helps as the initial impression, I believe. And those things you can't always measure right away. It takes time.
Correct. But yes, mafe-feel mo rin eh that something's working because it's beyond the normal, it's beyond what usually happens. And again, it's brand awareness. It's free brand awareness for your company, di ba? Yeah.
So there's a comment sa Q&A box. So not a question daw, but I love the idea of having a wait list even before you finish the product program. So kudos, Ina. So thanks for that comment, anonymous attendee.
Thank you as well.
This one's from Betty Vicencio. How can HR tailor advocacy strategies for different types of employees? Examples given: remote, hybrid, frontline, or leadership.
how can you incentivize, or how can you
How
track?
can
Sorry.
HR tailor advocacy strategies for different types of employees?
Actually, I don't think you need to tailor it specific to the kind of work setup of. That's the beauty of having an employee advocacy program such as this, diba? It's on social, it's digital, it's measurable on the platforms. You can have, okay, in fairness, you can have seasonal themes if gusto nyo mag-highlight ng remote work ninyo, like it's something that you want to showcase, then for that month, give a topic that people can talk about, diba? Parang, we did this actually in one of our clients they have like a family month, or yun yung theme for the month ng company, family month. So show, parang post on your social media, show how you spend time with your family after work hours. Again, this is voluntary. This is, may consent ito kasi syempre papakita mo yung pamilya mo, di ba? So, it's really voluntary. And then, kami as the social media managers of that company, we will took a look at everything. We go like, uy, parang ito yung magandang i-amplify. So, na-feature sila dun sa main company page, company social media. So, UGC, essentially EGC, employee generated content, hanap-hanap kami, oy, ito. Then we reached out to say na, hi, we'll be featuring your content. Can we get further consent that we will show you? We'll show a picture of your family, we'll show a picture of your children as you've posted it. And then they like it. So when we posted it on the main account, we tagged them and sobrang kilig. Kinilig talaga sila doon. Kinilig din syempre yung mga employees, di ba? Ang daming heart, daming, uy, bossing! Uy, si bossing ko yan, ganyan. Uy, ganyan. Ang galing ng engagement. Sobrang nakakatuwa.
Yeah.
So you can do that. You can do themes. But generally, you don't need to segmentize it that way. Di ba?
Yeah. Pero I think, no, we can also try. I mean, there's no harm in trying, no, that we understand the different personas, diba? So you mentioned frontline, you mentioned management. So, syempre, siguro pag si management, kailangan, they can author insights, right? And so, yun yung mga pwede nilang i-share on their social media pages. While yung frontline staff, for example, we share customer stories or behind the scenes content. Or also, we should be able to aid them to have pre-approved, easy to share content that they can rehash or just change the tone in their own voice, using their own voice, so it's easier, so they don't have to rethink the wheel, diba? They'll just use whatever's available.
Yeah. So,
Kaya lang. Mm-hmm.
Kailangan ng templates, kailangan ng guidance. That's why we're offering that employee advocacy accelerator program, because that's part of what we will be doing to create the first set of materials that can be used to set the tone, to set the pace also for HR. As Crimson Berry, kasi we have this method or this model called build, operate, transfer, where we build things for, we build the social media content for our company. In the 6 months that we have this contract, we build it, we operate it, and then the goal is to transfer it to either the HR team if we're doing employer branding, or to the marketing team if we are doing corporate comms, diba? Build, operate, transfer. So this time around, it's build, operate, transfer, but really focusing more on the employee advocacy program. So building the templates, building the tone, like you said, the personas. What does a thought leadership content look like and sound like? How do you share all of these content? How do you create the content? So upskilling also. There's so many tips and tricks now for social media, maybe even as basic as how do you post a reel or how do you edit a reel from your mobile device, diba? Stuff like that you will learn in the accelerator program to to help you guys along with it. So, kailangan talaga ng templates para madali.
Yeah, it's great. So yun nga. So even this is where also if a company is starting from scratch, this is all where Crimson Berry can also come in and assist the organization, right? Yeah. Okay. So this one's another question from Roneo Villanueva. The challenge in the workplace is smooth flow of work. But the workplace comprises of different generations, Gen Z, Millennial, Gen X, and Baby Boomers. Could you suggest on what to do what can the HR department do, basically?
Wow, that's actually a different topic altogether. The cross-generational working together. Because yes, taas kamay millennials. Phillennial, kasi ano po ako, Gen X na po ako. Hello, Gen Xers. Phillennial feeling millennial. Different challenges talaga kasi iba-iba yung motivations ng each of the generations. And the way we think and the way we work are all different. Case in point, Crimson Berry, we are cross-generational. Again, Gen X, I have a lot of millennials. I have Gen Zs. Did you know that with the Gen Z, ang gusto nila, their boss is their friend? Wow. Yes, ganun sila. But not naman that you will stoop to, naman stooping. But parang, okay, if it's not natural for you, don't do it. Diba? Halata naman. Again, halata yung mga pilit. But the idea that you understand, seek first to understand, diba? So if you understand what makes each of the generations tick, then you can adjust your comms, you can adjust the way you relate to them, you can adjust the way you ask for work. Diba?
Yeah.
Na, sa peer level or Gen X to Gen X, okay lang yung nag-uutusan kayo eh. Pero pag inutusan mo ang Gen Z, iba.
Iba yun.
Iba yun. If you guys have read the 1 Minute Manager, the sandwich method, that's important. I mean, cross-generationally, that's important. You know, how to convey and how to talk to people. But again, seek first to understand what makes each generation tick and how to work with them. So that will help ensure smooth workflow. I guess with HR to include guidance or workshops about cross-generational working teams, because that's a thing. I think Francis Kong delivers such a good message on this. He has an entire workshop just about cross-generational
So
teams.
I think, Ina, you raised a good point, no? Yung adopt to the communication styles, which is one, and then syempre yung also customizing the training and development depending on the best way to communicate and the format that the different generations would appreciate. I think to add on to this, the company can also promote cultural collaboration. So probably have small committees wherein that's where you commingle the different generations, no? And then there could also be mentorship programs within the organization. So it's a way also to foster probably an inclusive work culture. So yun po yung mga suggestions namin, Romeo. Okay. Other more questions? I think we have a few more. Leia Tibos, is it the same as asking the employee to share the FB post of the company?
Yes, that's part of it. It's a simple way of starting off employee advocacy programs. Simple task is that make sure that you always like. Ganun. Can start with that. Guys, please like when we post something. Mauna kayo mag-like. Like, share. Next would be to comment. Next would be when you share it, add something to your reshare. So, di ba in LinkedIn, it's just repost or repost with your own thoughts. It's always better to repost with your own thoughts because as an employee, that's your own personal brand building. It's also going to help you um, be a thought leader. It's practicing thought leadership na rin. And if your bosses get to see, oh, ganito pala magsulat to, or ganito pala mag-isip to, oh, the insights are great. Because it's like you're not just reposting, you're adding your own insights. It gives management an insight to how creative you are or how analytical you are. So, baby steps. Again, when we do advocacy program trainings, we give them options. Like you say, iba pag frontliner, iba pag middle management, iba pag executive level. But maybe if this whole thing is new to them, something as simple as reposting or sharing the company's content is a good start.
I guess another question here, no? How can we minimize the negative comments? So siguro there are also some employers who are worried naman that we cannot control what our employees will say. So especially daw if it's not true. So how do you control this?
Actually, if it's not true, it merits an investigation, ha? Di ba lang? Di ba? Parang, okay, we encounter this also with our corporate comms clients, di ba? What happens or how do we deal with trolls? Ito parang troll to pero internal, di ba? One, manage the page first. If you can, if it's a comment they did on your page, on your content, you can hide it. But then again, DM nyo na kaagad yung tao. Reach out to the person right away to say, hi, we saw your post. We are a bit concerned. Can we talk about it? Di ba? Yun eh, yung point dun is, especially if it's wrong, you have to deal with that. You have to deal with that gently and privately. But if it is something that they've posted publicly on their page, again, deal with it privately. Again, if you've read 1 Minute Manager, di ba? Deal with it privately, praise publicly. And then maybe when you get to resolve things, you can ask them politely to take it down. Diba? Parang, resolve na eh. Parang, okay, hindi pala, miscommunication pala, ask them to take it down. Diba? Or, if it is an ex-employee that just wants to ruin things, may ganyan po. Reality check lang. May ganyan. We had to deal with that also in some of our employer branding clients. Na parang, uy, ano to, disgruntled employee was trolling and spamming the comment section like anything. We had to block and report on behalf of the client. But again, if it's someone in your organization who's still active, is still there, deal with it privately and gently, and then part of the resolution is please take it down. Yon. Malay mo, mas maganda pa yung rebuttal content niya after, di ba? Parang, maganda pala, I was wrong. Di ba ganon? May mga apology videos na pinopost. Oh, di ba? Para lang influencer. I was wrong. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's another question from Maureen naman sa chat box. No, we have a passport for our employee passion clubs that tracks participation and attendance. And we give freebies in the events they attended. Wow.
Wow, I like that.
How can we sustain this? Because as of now, we are in the fiscal year of monitoring outputs. Efficiency, employees are not paid on activities during working hours. How can we boost the engagement in the company as well? One, of course, you have to be monitoring it, di ba? Kung ano yung, especially if you're spending on it, spending time and energy and money on it, you have to be monitoring on the return on investment nyo dyan, di ba? So, how we can sustain it, if it's working well for you and you're seeing the results and you're measuring the results and the results are giving you better results month on month, year on year, why not continue it? How to sustain it, maybe shake it up a bit, give it a little bit more, maiba lang, or you can ask the employees,
for ideas. Again, it's collaborative. It's two-way street na parang, oh, what haven't we tried that you want us to try? Diba? Shake it up a bit. They're not paid on activities during working hours, but their working hours are paid, right? I mean, if they're paid the whole 8 hours, parang ganun, diba? Kasi like, in companies I've been part of, lunchtime is really activity time, diba? Kahit saan may parang may paspa dyan, or dumating yung mga clients natin, may mga pa-booth, may pa-games, but that's during lunchtime. Or town hall meetings, if you have a once a month town hall meetings, diba, that's part naman of their paid time pa rin. But that can be part of employee participation. I hope I understood that right.
I also wanted to link to mention na you can link yung passion clubs that you mentioned to the career growth of the people, no? And then you could also align these activities with business goals. Hindi naman to basta pa-game lang tayo or pa-event lang tayo without really having a bigger, objective of this type of program.
Or if it's possible na ito yung parang weekend run clubs. I've also, like, diba, Makati has a car-free Sunday. So, Sunday siya, that's not part of the work time, diba? That's outside company time. Pero, merong parang bike club or run club si company, you can actually support them by giving them merch.
Yeah. That's true.
Pa t-shirt, pa hat, pa whatever. So habang tumatakbo sila, di ba, free advertising because they're like decked out with your brand, di ba?
And so other people who was not able to participate will be interested to join the next one kasi mafo-FOMO naman sila, di ba?
Di ba? Ganda ng merch. Ganda ng tumbler. O, saan mo nakuha yung belt bag mong yan? Sana all. O, di sama ka sa Sunday. Diba? Pa-merch kayo.
Yun. So, yun. Thank you for all the questions and all the comments in the chat box and in the Q&A box as well. So, Ina, any final words or maybe you could share with them again your contact details and how Crimson Berry can help their organizations?
Yes. So guys, thank you again for the very interactive session today. Let me flash again our contact information. Hit us up on email, on our socials, scan or go to our link in bio /crimsonberry for all our details. You can email me at hello@crimsonberry.ph. Meron pala akong kulang na mga dots there somewhere. If you need anything for social media management, creatives, and all of that. And again, don't forget we have that wait list for our Employee Advocacy Accelerator. Link is in our chat, or should I retype the link? Sending the link again. Hope I can see you in that wait list so that when we are ready, you are first to know about this. And again, give me a week. I will send this deck and the VOD of this session to you guys. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, RB, for this opportunity again.
Thank you also, Ina. To all attendees, thank you for all your comments, all your hearts, all your reactions. It's really... you've really helped us make this webinar so much engaging. There's still people who are coming in. Sorry, we'll just share the recording soon. So thank you for staying till the end. No, so we're looking forward to seeing you in the next webinar, which is on March 27. Plug in. No we'll make it March 26 Wednesday. First time tayo mag-Wednesday. But this is with the BIR to talk about ITR filing. Kasi may deadline na yan in April. So, the BIR accepted our invitation to share with you this important reminder and how to do it right so that we don't get penalized. So, yan. So, hope to see you on March 26 Wednesday. We'll send you the invite soon. Ina, thank you again. Our super, super suki. And we look forward to having you again probably in April. Diba?
Pwede,
And
pwede. Part
yeah,
2 nito,
so just
pwede.
yan, oo. Tapos with all your guys, with all your feedback, will si Ina will come up with a topic that you will be interested in. So whether it's part 2, sabi ni Maureen, no, or something else, 'di ba? So yan. Thank you guys. Happy Thursday. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you for spending your morning with us. Take care.
Thanks
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
Bye. Bye.